This episode of Pirate Jam is brought to you by Taste-A-Moles. Taste 'em all. Taste-A-Moles.
So today we've arrived on the Sand Beach Bungalows and everyone's jamming here at the restaurant, getting some good work done and drinking lots of coconuts.
Yeah, the jam is going pretty well. I had a really cool workshop with Jerry about how to use buttons and like all control stuff. So I was really interested in making a game where you use one button somehow to control like a ship. You have a ship which is constantly spinning and you can only use one button to move it forward. So you kind of have to maneuver its position in order to get it from point A to point B. So at the moment I have like a little base game going and I'm trying to make it look really cute and like silly. I'm gonna get Jerry to do some sounds for me and see how it goes.
Yeah, so it's going pretty well actually. All the art is still completely temporary. You know, you can buy gifts, there's a person following you around, they're looking at the gifts and deciding if any of them are interesting to them. They will actually look at each gift in turn and kind of give you an idea of whether they liked it or not. It still looks absolutely terrible because it's just all completely placeholder, but the next step is to get the art in there and get a load of interesting gifts.
Yeah, so I'm carrying on with my Lemmings Frogger crossover, currently called Crossings. The game is a 2-button game, so you have 3 sets of light, but only 1 set of red-green buttons. There's the uncertainty of you don't know which light you will toggle, so you have to tactically time it. You could have people crossing across 3 roads from both sides and you want to get them all across safely. I want it to be quite chaotic and hectic, so lots of people crossing, a lot of button smashing. The game loop I'm playing around with at the moment is that you have 100 crosses initially and you cross back and forth as many times as you can until all the crosses have perished to the roads.
I was working on a sort of puzzly narrative information and deduction game. It was looking pretty cool, but I think was just a little bit overblown in terms of scope. It was a game that I originally wanted to make from all the photos that I took sort of here in Thailand, and I wanted to turn that into a 18th century explorer story where people had gone to the various islands and were terrible, mysterious calamity had happened to them, and you as a player had to piece together all the bits of information and figure that out. So I would say it was probably just a bit too large in scope for this jam. Unfortunately, I've had to do a really hard pivot and switch to something a little bit simpler and a little bit more clear in its goal. So right now I'm tentatively working on a kind of minimalistic node-based puzzle game in which you have to extract information by completing little electrical circuits. And at this point I can't pivot again, so whatever's happening now is going to be it.
I'm making a game called Heisenberg's Uncertain Pinball, where you're never really sure exactly where the ball is because the ball itself is just invisible and is projecting particles all around it, kind of scattering around it. And as it hits things, it projects more particles. And another very uncertain thing is eyebrow movement. This game will be controlled by an eyebrow-based controller. It uses 2 little dials here attached to some clothespins. You would basically attach this to your head somehow, and you can control it with your eyebrow like this, and this would control the bumpers. I'm thinking of expanding it into a series, like eyebrow boxing or eyebrow racing or eyebrow pong or something like that.
This episode of Pirate Jam is brought to you by Taste-A-Moles. Taste 'em all. Taste-A-Moles.
So, a Taste-A-Mole in the future, a corporation is creating the perfect animal for consumption. This animal is designed for easy flavoring, easy cooking.
And importantly, it enjoys being eaten.
Loves it.
It's a joke that's just carried on going.
Yeah.
We've settled on something like an instructional video for parents to feed their young children a Taste-A-Mole treat.
Taste-em-alls.
Taste mammals?
Taste 'em all. Taste-em-alls.